Hey,
How are ya?
I'm good. I'm good. Is it good to be back in the saddle?
It is for me. How about you? You were away for a while too.
Yeah, it is. I am, I'm working while I'm gone, so
Oh, right, right.
I'm I'm ready to go back. It was
Well,
nice.
that's how I feel. Like for me, it was 7 days and I was ready to go back. You did a lot longer than that. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Brad.
Hey, hey.
How you
Got the
guys
whole gang
doing?
back. Good.
Doing
Sorry,
great.
I'm getting a late start. Oh, happy birthday, Charlie.
Oh,
Isn't it your birthday today?
no, it is
No?
that is my uncle. Uh, and somehow
Why is it on my calendar?
I don't know. For some reason my uncle's
Oh, I have
birthday.
the wrong Charlie. Oh,
uh,
you've had other wishes too today?
yeah, and my wife too, which
Your wife thought it was your birthday?
no, no,
What?
some people thought it was my wife's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a totally different Charlie. I
That's
just realized.
hilarious.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Charlie, it's Charlene.
Oh my gosh.
This
You
is
I
didn't
even
have
wished
your you
better.
didn't have your coffee yet, did you, Carolyn?
I wished
But
him happy birthday yesterday though. That's the thing.
that did you get the email that I sent? I sent
I
back
did.
with the
I tried to click the link, but I don't know if you sent an additional one. I haven't looked.
I did. I did.
Don't
Hey
forget,
Tim.
we're on the West Coast here. I'm just getting to the office. And I'm
Yeah,
not proud of that.
that's all right.
Hey
That is all right.
guys. I mean, I'm sure Brad's up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Right,
Central
Brad?
time.
I wish I was, not me.
I'm
Don't worry.
trying.
Have you
I mean,
been, Tim?
I
Been all right. It's been one thing after another with this time slot, so I apologize for not being around lately, but had kids snow day and then I was buried with stuff last week and it's just but hey, I'm here this week.
That is but that's why we're able to why for me, this is why we're able to do this, right? So we
Yep,
can have the freedom to do that kind of stuff.
that's right.
Uh, that's
Can't wait
awesome.
for spring. Done with the snow. I want spring.
Oh, we're getting some tonight,
Where
so
are you,
it'll be
Tim?
back for a little bit.
Where are you, Tim?
Oh, I'm in Minnesota.
Oh,
Yeah, in Minneapolis. So winter lasts a while.
yeah, they do. I just went to Big Sky. I just got back.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I am I'm really excited about today. I'm going to talk about kind of some next level persuasion stuff in videos. I,
Okay.
you know, all that I ever do is read and learn, and it feels like that's all I do. And I watched this video this weekend from a guy. He's a real high-end marketing agency. He's, worked with Harley Davidson. And when he was talking about talking to people's subconscious and persuasion, I was like, it is exactly what we do. And so I took this is what I do. I took his transcript and I threw it into what Referrals While You Sleep Is project and AI and started talking with it. I was like, how can we implement this? And came up with just this really cool uh, thing that I was like, why have we not done this earlier? Like, this makes perfect sense. And I shared it with Brad a little bit last night. And it's just like some simple subconscious little plugs that I'm excited to share with you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And see if anyone pops back on.
Whatever happened to Tony? Tony, what's his name? Tony.
Tony Ray.
Yeah, from Tucson.
Where has Tony Ray been?
I know he went to Vegas for a Remax convention. And I know he
Oh,
said he had 10 listings in January, so that's probably what happened to him. Remember?
could be, could be,
He
yeah.
rode off into the sunset. He's just done.
That's impressive.
He's got his
I'm
he's got
happy I
his
got
art
five
gallery.
deals. I got 5 deals in escrow right now.
That's
wow.
not
That's amazing.
Shot calling, big balling.
Uh, It's needed.
Are they buyers or listings?
2 are buyers, 2 are listings. 1 listing I'm double ending.
Nice.
They're all from probate. The probate led to a referral, and the other one is someone I work with. She can't double end a deal, so she gave it to me because we have a good relationship.
Why can she not double end a deal?
It's against the probate attorney's policy. It just happens. She doesn't do probate. It just happens that she's doing this one.
Gotcha.
I'm giving her a portion of the sale, but it's it's
Right.
$1 million. Sorry to do my makeup, guys.
How long have you been working on the probate?
I started last year.
Okay. What's been the progress of it? I mean, I assume it starts off slow and
Well, the process is you call people, sellers that have homes in probate, and I found it kind of hard and challenging because everybody's calling them. So I just started calling the attorneys that are local that have, and I just put together some packets of their most recent probates and just showed up at their office and said, "Hi, I'd like to earn your business. I did your last probate. I did a package for each of your last clients." And so far I've landed 1. I
Yeah.
already had this a divorce attorney, and he happens to do probate on occasion, and he has a probate right now he's giving to me. It's a total dump, but it's still worth
Yeah.
600 grand.
So this is where I have to stop and say, this is where realtors take this as normal. They go, and I'm one of them, obviously, but I used to do this, but you say, oh, I only got 1 probate attorney. Like, do you know how hard that is? Like, for most people in a sales job, like, just to go out and contact, because those are essentially in a the short version is who they are. They're like an asset manager at a bank. They have.
Yeah, I don't know for sure if I'm gonna get all his business, but yeah, I know. Okay, I was wrong to say that. Sorry.
You have 1. You have 1. That's a win. I mean, that's a humongous win. It's like what one guy was coaching. He sent out 20 letters to a building, and he said, "Yeah, I only got 1 listing." And I mean, and the copy was it was this masterful copy that was written. But I'm just like, man, you only got 1 listing. Like, do you know how hard that is? So that's awesome. I just was
I haven't really pushed
congratulating you.
it. My plan is to like push it more and do the same thing to some other attorneys, but I just have, I got so busy, I haven't had a chance.
Right. The first one's the hardest, and then you get busy. How do you keep up with your marketing?
Yeah, that's the problem. We're
Yeah.
full white.
That's right. Keep it top of mind when you're busy.
Actually, I'm sorry to monopolize the conversation.
No, that's all right. I was wanting to know. I was wanting to know how you got your business. I mean, 5 in escrow. Is that right?
Yeah. 2 are listings. 1's a divorce. Divorce are not easy. Divorce is not for the faint of heart.
That's true.
I'm also thinking about getting a certification in divorce. I don't know.
Is there such a thing?
Yes, there is. And some of it costs like $5,000. I can't believe it. But the divorce attorney that I'm talking to, he told me that I need to come to this. They had a realtor come to this like attorney meeting and just, tell everybody how great she is. And he goes, "Why can't you come and do that?" So I haven't done all that too. Go to a meeting full of lawyers. I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I'm a little intimidated.
My grandpa would be great at that. He was divorced 6 times.
Woo.
Charlie?
True story.
Wow.
True story.
That's a man that believes in love.
He doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. And and my friend Adam's on here. His audio's or his video's not on, but he's the director of my B&I group, the whole group, and glad he's coming in, checking it out. One of the most fun people I've met. Let's see, there he is. Hey, Adam.
Hey guys, sorry I'm driving. I just keep getting these calendar alerts. I wanted to check in, but are you okay if I put video off, or is that rude? Should I just come back next week?
No, yeah. Leave it off. You're good. Leave it off. You're
All
good.
right. Thanks,
And
Charlie.
yeah, Adam, so every Tuesday, we probably need to split it up. Our realtors and a lot of our lenders, we get together for this little mastermind, how to use referrals while you sleep, and then we split into duo videos. And so what I wanted to share today
Wait, so do you do that
was
for the BNI group? Do you do that for the BNI group?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. And uh so I was watching this video, and the guy was just talking about the power of the subconscious, and we like how to speak to the subconscious. And what I realized is with our duo videos, we have the ability to do that. And he went into, you know, most marketing speaks to the, the logical brain. But if we can speak to their deep subconscious, like that's what we want to do. And there's a few parts to it. One, you want to give a short, direct phrase, and then you want to use the word because. Have you all ever heard the study of the the persuasion study on the power of the word because? Have you all ever heard this?
Oh.
So this is fascinating. Back in this was like the 80s, someone they were a persuasion uh, scientist, so to speak, and they wanted to do this study on how the word because affects things. And so this was back in the day when at colleges you would have to stand in line to get copies made, right? And so they started out, and this was at Arizona State University. I think it was actually one of Robert Cialdini's students.
Oh,
At
my.
least he mentions it in his book Influence. And anyway, so there's this line of people, and it starts out, and the people say, "Hey, can I?" This lady said, "Can I cut in front of you because I'm running late for class?" And something crazy like 91% of people would let them cut in line when they said, "Because I'm late for class." They had another group that said, "Can I cut in front of you?" And only like 20% said yes.
Hmm.
So, can I cut in front of you? 20% said yes, 80% no. Can I cut in front of you because I'm running late for class? Like 90% said yes. And what they ended up doing though, they made the because like worse and worse and more irrational to see what was the power. And so the last test was, can I cut in front of you because I hate lines? 81% of people still said yes. With that
Interesting.
total, like, I mean, it's a non-reason. And in persuasion, they call it the fake because. Like, it's good to have a really good because. But if you don't have it, it's okay. You can use a fake because. And so 80% of people said because I hate lines. And so the idea, I'll tell you, the phrase is call me because. And Brad's got a set of phrases that I absolutely love to just tell my clients all the time. You probably have some of these. And his are, you can count on me. I'll always represent you honestly and fairly at all times. You can count 100% of my effort. You're in good hands. I'm fighting for your rights. I'll always be on your side. I treat your money like it's mine. Um, one of them that I say is my client. I love my clients and they love me. Um, I put more money in your pocket. I care about my clients. It's important that you are comfortable. I want what's best for you. Um, I'll take care of things. No one will do a better job. So those are but what's cool is like we get to use these really powerful becauses. And so the idea is, and this is what I'm going to start doing, is I'm going to embed this phrase 3 times in all my videos. and it's going to say something like, for my real estate, it would be something like, um, um, I'm Charlie. Today we're exploring what's happening in the local market. If you have any questions about how these things affect your specific situation, call me, because I'll always put your interest first. And the idea is you pause before you say it. You lower your voice a little bit. If you've ever, have any of y'all read Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference, that book?
Late night DJ.
Yeah, the late night DJ voice. Highly recommend that book. It's great book on persuasion. And so Chris Voss, he was an FBI hostage negotiator. And when he retired, he went into the private sector and makes bukus of money. High page consultant, has, just powerful book. I mean, I recommend it for anyone. And one of his things that he found works really good, and he called it the late night. Could you explain the late night DJ, Brad?
Yes. So I usually I usually always try out these techniques on my daughter because she's yes. So just imagine trying to talk to your kid and be like, I need you to clean your room right now, because and then you're just saying that, and you're trying to get them to do so. You're trying to persuade them to do something. So then think about it. Hey, sweetheart, would you mind if you do me a huge favor? Could you think you could maybe clean up your room a little bit for me today? So there's it's like that late night DJ voice, and you're able, like what they were a lot of the times in his negotiations when he was talking like that, the people were starting to become vulnerable to his requests. How about you come on out of there? I'll make sure everything works out well for you. So that's kind of the nutshell of the late night DJ voice, and you try it out on your kids. This is what I do for all those things, those foundation phrases too that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I've been trying a new one on my kids where like I tell them to do something like, why do I have to do that? And I'm like, because we're a team and we work together. And that seems to help. I don't know if we can use it on our clients.
I like that.
It works. We're a team and we live together and we each have our responsibilities. So we're in a transaction and I don't know.
Yeah.
I love
that. Yeah. And so it's the late night DJ. It's a short command. If you guys want, I can share a link to the whole podcast video where the guy talks about this. And it's what I love about it is it's a really simple thing, because at the end of the day, the 230 rule says if you know 200 people, there's 30 transactions this year. The question is, why don't they call you first? And so that's 30 this year, that's 30 next year, that's 30 the year after that. So whenever it is, I really want them to call me. Like, that's the best possible thing, better than a direct message, better than I've got a really good example. My buddy Mark Day, I think he's been on some of these calls. He was one of the first referrals while you sleep clients. And he's a lender. And during the refi gold rush, they were so busy, just, making money hands over fist. And he was getting people to call him. And what's cool about his system, or why I like this, is he's got, he calls it automation, because he's got a right-hand person named Autumn that really does almost 95% of his file. And so when the people would call him, he'd talk with them, 25 minutes, get the basic info, and he'd say, hey, the next step is my partner Autumn's going to call you. And when people come to us, when we're not chasing them, but when they're coming to us, they're what I've discovered, they're just much more malleable to do things my way. And so he was just killing it, because people were calling him, and, we're all good, we're all friendly. And so he would, do that. So I think the best possible command is call me, and So some other examples is, if you're wondering how the inventory might affect you property specifically, call me, because I want to help you make informed decisions based on accurate information. Whether you're thinking of making a move next month or next year, call me, because I want what's best for you. And the idea of start putting that in your duo videos, and do it multiple times, because one of the problems that this has been, the unlock that this solved for me is, like, what is a call to action so that when my sphere of influence is moving, it always works? Because I've discovered for me, my sphere of influence aren't going to fill out a lead form. They're not, they're not going to sign up for a free report. The best ones, they are going to call me. And so I just want to embed that. If you've got a friend that needs help, call me, because I'm going to treat them like their family. And would love to know kind of what your thoughts on that. It's a pretty simple idea that I think will really 10x the value of our sphere of influence seeing our content.
Well, gotta give it a try.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'll tell you, what I found, just because I've used those foundational phrases, I want things to work out well for you. You can count on me. I'm on your side. Number one, you have to kind of remember, regardless of the relationship that you have, if they're a new client or an existing, obviously these questions will come up less in the existing client, because people really want to not have to think more. But they just want to trust you and just have you deal with it. Think about you guys, when you have somebody that you're like, okay, I don't have to go through the mental gymnastics of learning all this thing. I've just got this recommendation for this person. I'm going to go with them. You don't have to think. But there are some things, especially when it comes to real estate purchases, it's such an emotionally tied thing, because it's money. And there are times when people start to wonder, can we really count on this person? Are they going to be there fighting for us? Do you really, like, imagine a husband and wife. Do you really think they want us to work, that they want it to work out well for us? Do you think it's important to them that this is, gonna work out well for our family? The conversation they either have out loud or they have in their head. So I started this with new clients, but then I found also that it works so well with the existing clients, because I was always saying it throughout the transaction, from every single communication, on a text message, from an email, to, it's like, hey, and I always say that. So when Charlie said, hey, start putting these in the video and adding the because. It's like, call me, because it's important to me that I give you a clear picture of all your options, so you feel you're making the right decision. And you put that late night DJ voice in there, because you could be talking about, hey, I'm just here at my office, beautiful La Jolla. It's just a couple blocks from the water. Sometimes the weather this year has been a little crazy. And speaking of crazy, kind of like the real estate market. And if you need to make any sense of that, call me, because I want to be your resource for everything real estate related. Call me at 858-225-7385, because I want to make sure that you have a clear picture of all your options, so you feel you're making the best decision. So it's just like so powerful when you start to embed that in your, like, putting this in your video. I just thought it was a brilliant idea, because you'll use this, if you use this with a semi-new client, or anyone that's like wondering about something. When you have to get that price reduction, it's so much easier. When you get a ridiculous repair request from a buyer and you need them to kind of do some things, it's so much easier, because what have they been hearing the whole time? I'm on your side. I want this to work out. I'll be fighting for you guys. I always want this to work out well for you. You can count on me. So then there's less of that concern. They're like, oh, like Charlie said, they're more malleable. So that's been my experience with it.
I love that. Yeah, I'm really excited because I think it's going to really it's going to 10x the value of our sphere seeing us over and over and over. And it was kind of fun for me because, as I'm talking to AI about this, like the AI, it's trying to, it doesn't it, most marketers and AI doesn't understand our business, that if we serve the socks off of our clients and we stay top of mind and they trust us, we're going to have plenty of business that's fun to work with versus chasing leads and strangers. And the idea that, most of our clients aren't part of that 30 that's going to move this year, that 15%. But they'll still enjoy seeing us because they remember how we feel. And like while they watch it, whatever part they watch, like I want that embedded command. I want them to feel really, really comfortable that, whatever question they have, they can call me. Hey, Dale, how are you?
Good, good. I was late onto the call because I picked up a referral of somebody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So got a seller. And this is so if somebody wants to do a duo video, I have a good topic today.
Oh, nice. Nice. Had you worked with this person before, or it was a referral from a past client?
Actually, it's a referral from by referral only, Bro Vance.
Yeah.
And she has some clients that live in the local area and their husband lost a job. Uh, and they're getting a divorce. They're amicable, wonderful, which is great. But they're upside down because they haven't made payments for a while. And I come up with a solution that's going to help them that nobody else thought of. And basically, it's hey, they're sitting on a low interest rate, a mortgage, and I think that's assumable. So I think we'll get them all the money they need and won't have to do it short. They were concerned that they needed to do a short sale, and this comes back to ask the questions. Don't keep it next to your heart. Next to your chest. Go out. It's hard to disclose that times are tough for you, but by asking the questions and reaching out, we may have a solution for these people, and it won't hurt.
Has anyone
Yeah.
been successful on doing a loan or a assessment like that? Because I've heard it's hard. Not to be
Uh,
negative.
Assuming a loan isn't tough if you have a good escrow team to help you out with it.
Okay.
This obviously will have a few more issues, but we have the buyers right now. I saw a home that just sold for nearly $100,000 over value to get the 2.75% interest rate. And this was like an $800,000 home. It sold for close to $9,000.
By the way, I got Dale's book. He sent me his book.
Oh, nice.
I just started writing my second book, my niche book.
Oh, is that with buyer for only too?
Yeah. Did you get a chance to read it at all?
No, but I will. But it's sitting here on my desk. But I did look at it a little bit. It doesn't look like too hard of a read.
No, it's real easy.
But I will read it. I promise you I will.
Brad, you did a book, didn't you?
What's that?
You did a book, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did one. It was yes, I did.
Okay. So that's
He did.
so Carol Ann, that's
He's
an idea of what you can do,
Yeah.
if you want to write one.
Mm-hmm.
Brad did his years ago before it was even cool, before it was easy like it is today. He did it
Yeah.
hard.
He's got a whole stack of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd love, I was thinking like, where are where are all the places that you could use that call me because, and what could you do to like just make that a habit where it becomes something that, you feel comfortable saying when you meet people. Because I think it's a really good gift to remind people, call me because I'm on your side.
I think it's, it would be important to, it's definitely important to have the call me. But I think it's important that, call me without the fear of, the reason people don't call is the fear of being sold, the fear of getting trapped with somebody, you know.
Yeah.
And people forget that, hey, they can hang up if they don't want to hear from you. But so many people, and I think the younger the age group, they're scared to death to make the call. Like these people I'm hopefully working with today, they haven't talked to anybody. Sadly, they're probably embarrassed of their situation. And fortunately, they reached out to their longtime friend, real estate agent, and then she contacted me, and we've got a solution,
Yeah.
and it's going to be easy on them.
It's great.
Yeah. So some of them that, one might work is, when you want an honest opinion about timing, call me because I'll tell you the truth, even if it means waiting.
Maybe we should have it in our tagline.
Wow, I think that's a really good one. I've seen that work for an agent that I coached. He actually, it was amazing. He was doing an open house and someone came in there and he was like, actually, it's really not a good time to buy right now. And the guy was like, kind of double taked, was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, I mean, if you want to buy some investments, yeah, that's a good time. But just wait a little bit. There's really nothing out here that's going to even be anything close to what you want. So that ended up getting him, I mean, and I counted it out. It was like literally hundreds of $1,000s in commissions because that guy worked for Qualcomm, and it was like a domino from there. Just because he was saying something that everybody else was not saying. They were trying to talk him into why it's good, and it's like, actually, it's not really that great right now for your situation, what you just shared with me. So I like it, Charlie, when you said, hey, I'm going to tell you the honest opinion on timing, even if that means that it's not right now, it's not anytime soon. That just puts you in a different category than everybody else saying, here's why you need to do it. It
And
almost like starting off. Here's who shouldn't buy right now.
There you go.
right.
That's a great tagline.
Yeah. And here's what's cool about everyone in this room. We all literally will tell our clients when it's not a good time for them. Like it's like I've got 100% confidence that everyone in here, like that's who we are. And that is really, really rare.
I've done that a lot with our military people. Everybody loves working with the military because zero down financing, they got a steady job, a steady paycheck, everything's good. But if a person, depending on how the appreciation rate's going at the time, I've told numerous military people, I says, you know what? It's not in your favor to be purchasing a home if you're going to be leaving in 2 years, is 3 years. If you're going to be here for 5 years, let's get started. But if you're going to be here for two years, there's not enough time to achieve enough appreciation to even break even when you leave. And I have gotten referrals and business from that.
Right.
And all the other agents said, let's buy because it's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they also know that they're used to taking orders and being told what to do, and so it's almost like when you use your superpowers for bad, and so we got to use our thankfully I love that, Dale, because that's I've done that so many times also with our military here. We got a lot of people coming in and out of San Diego, and it's just not enough time. Like, and even another example, military folks, and they didn't care. They wanted to keep it as a rental, but they were really tight on money. And you got these crazy tenant laws here. You get one wacko tenant, and it's like, okay, well, we didn't really have a reserve for 6 months of no rent, and to make the mortgage. And it was like, and I remember that the clients, actually their parents called me up. They were like, thank you for looking out for them. Like, that was so cool. And then they referred me like 3 more people. But it's just it's just I love that when if you make, that's a good idea. I think Charlie, we lead with something like that.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I love that because it's true. It speaks to people's fears. Another one that I saw here that was good was uh, what was it? I printed it out here and if I can find it. Was anytime you feel uncertain about real estate matters, call me because I'll provide clarity without pressure. You know, um, and I just love that thought. Um, or when the market news makes you anxious, call me because I can help you understand it, what it actually means. Maybe I wouldn't do that because I really don't want a lot of anxious people to call me. I've got a friend that she's a coach and she started marketing about like if you're anxious or stressed out, and she cut that lead funnel down quick. That all she got was pretty much neurotic people.
I called her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say anxious and he says, hey, he's speaking to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. No pressure. And so that's what I'd really love part of the duo video to be like, to think about, kind of just look to have a conversation and see how you can, practice that, embed that. Maybe you could even talk about how, yeah, I like this, how a client called you and you were able to help them without pressure. Like one of my favorite stories to tell, if you don't have one, you can use mine. You can say part of your mastermind. I had, actually, I had a client call me and we did the 5 6 7, and the husband and the wife, I could tell, were just like miles apart. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is not like, you guys don't want to move forward on this. You guys really need to figure out what that you guys need to get on the same page first in order to do this. And because the truth is, they never would have agreed and been happy if we hadn't have taken that time. And they ended up, they live about 2.5 hours away. They ended up buying something up there. They've referred me people, but that was really important. Like, now is not the right time for you. And Dale, you've got a really good example that we could use. Tim, do you have a good example of a client that you said, hold your horses?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't say a good example necessarily. I mean, I I do it all the time when it comes to um like the seasons, right? So right now it's really busy, or it's really hot, I guess I would say, and it's very competitive for buyers. And so very frequently I would tell someone who doesn't need to move that it has sort of an indefinite sort of lease or a living situation where they can search on their own time, that things are going to slow down after Easter and significantly more even in the summer, and they'll have more buying power, more leverage because there'll be less competition, um, and actually more inventory because of the people who failed to sell in the spring are still on the market, and then the new people who choose to list at that time. So anyway, so I always kind of breaking down to the buyers who are especially the ones that are losing hope or whatever, or just stressed out about the whole thing, that just hang in there, and you don't need to buy right now. Just feel free to sit on the sidelines and wait until and not have to participate, right? So I, you know,
Right.
I don't know. But that, I mean, I do that with, there's no like one example, I don't think, that I could point.
That's just with all of your clients right now. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
something I tell my people I meet, um, I tell them, I says, you know, I'm here to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. Unless
Yeah.
you'd like me to reverse that. And they always want to know what they need to know. They don't want to be lied to, you know. But
Right.
I give them that choice. What do you want to hear?
Right.
I would, you know, I'm here to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear.
Unless you want me to reverse it.
Yeah.
Uh, I like that, giving them the option.
Mhm.
That's genius, except I can't rewire my brain because I have this. I say that same thing, but I only say it to when I need to kind of get somebody in order a little bit. I was like, look, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Like, so like you say it so nice. That's usually like my, like when someone gets a little off the rail, like you know, the husband or the wife starts talking some crazy stuff and you're like, okay, look.
Here's where we're at. Tim, how does that affect sellers in this time? Is it better for them in this time?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Um, and I mean, for those that want to buy then, you know, because it's such a good time for sellers, you know, they have the leverage. I'm sure everyone has experienced this at this point. But where you can actually say, you know, we'll sell contingent on us finding a place. Is that common elsewhere? It's definitely common here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, you know, years ago, that was, no one had ever heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, yeah, I mean, sellers are in a great space to sell. And you know, and you can because the seasonality is so predictable at this point. You know, I had a seller who needs to do some work if she wants to get top dollar, come to me and say, well, you know, am I still going to be able to sell in a month? And I can say with confidence, oh yeah, you'll be fine. No problem.
Good. You're good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Darcy, what about you? Do you have some kind of example of that that would be good, of someone you've said now's not the time, or there's a certain seasonality?
Um, for listing, yeah, for buying, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm in Boston, so our winters are brutal and things slow down. And there's not as many people out. And then holidays, those are the two slowdowns. But I would never talk. I mean, I tell like obviously if you're gonna wait until the spring, you're gonna be up against more competition. So I encourage everyone to buy now. There's not a lot of people out.
Mhm.
But you know, everyone thinks rates are gonna go back down to 2 and they're not.
Yeah. Well, and I think, I've found that really depends on, like, real estate really is local. It depends on your local area. Like Boston
It
is
does.
different than Nashville, different than Minneapolis.
Right.
Uh, it really depends that way. What about you, Carol Ann?
When to use the statement, is that what you're saying?
Do you have any good example of, um, I'll I'll tell you the truth, even if it means waiting.
Well, I remember I was having a party and someone came to my party and they said, oh God, I don't know what I would do if I have to sell. I know so many realtors. And I said to her, don't you worry about it. You do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And I sold all her properties. I
Yeah.
don't know, it was like kind of the takeaway. Don't you worry about it. You do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And there was
It's
no
true.
pressure in that. That gave that person an out, so then they felt comfortable. Where all the
Right.
other real estate agents, they want the job.
You
They're
have
going
to,
to put
yeah.
pressure.
And I've been guilty of that too.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I just saw a post on a real estate forum where someone, poor realtor, they said, man, there's someone I talk to almost daily, and he just listed his house with someone else, and he knows how I'm struggling and need the money. Why didn't he call me? I was like, well,
You know, I have a story
Oh.
like that's kind of cool. I had a guy who this was back in like 2000, it was during the crash, 2010, 11, whatever. And he had purchased a couple homes with me, but they were like rundown investment properties, and he had this like real nice primary residence in a real nice neighborhood. So he asked me what I thought it could sell for. And I was, only a few years into the business, and I definitely sort of I was more pessimistic than I think he wanted to hear, and in fact, more pessimistic than actually the market would bear. I think I undersold what his neighborhood would be like. Anyways, I saw it come on the market with someone else, and so what I did was I wrote him a note, handwritten note, and I sent it to him in the mail that said something to the effect of like, "Hey, I saw your home is on the market. Just so you know, like I wish you the absolute best. I'll be looking out for a buyer for you. I've really enjoyed working with you and all this stuff, right?" And so that did a couple things, right? One, like no hard feelings. Two, like I see what's going. I'm got my finger on the pulse of the market. Don't you forget, right? And
Yeah.
guess what? So he did end up selling with that agent, but when it came time to buy more investment properties and buy another primary residence, he came back to me and in fact bought something like half dozen more houses with me over the years. Bought and sold. Yeah. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Leader with a giving hand. That's great. So that what do y'all think? Like, what do y'all think about that being kind of the story? Hey, I'm gonna call me when you want an honest opinion about timing. Call me because I'll tell you the truth, even if it means waiting. And then just practice. Like, can you drop that in the video about 3 times?
Yeah.
Good.
Before we do that, I have to call out Darcy had this amazing, memorable in a good way video. I don't know if you uploaded that to Referrals While You Sleep, but it was like the pool, with your daughter.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Like I like that just like stayed with me. I was like, that is so like, I mean, I don't know. Some of those things don't always stick with me, but that was like, oh man, I think that will stick with people. Like they see that. That was really cool. Really good idea.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I will upload it to Referrals While You Sleep because I don't usually upload any of them, but I will.
That one I'm gonna tell you that is a memorable video.
How about the one walking in the snow up to my knees in Big Sky? I had filmed all those in Big Sky.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. No, you gotta put all those on there. But
Right.
but that one with the pool is a priority
Okay.
because that was a really good one. Yeah, that was really cool
All right. Thanks.
for a couple reasons. I mean, just two, it was just like a good idea, and the second was like, oh, cool. It's like you got your family involved in this.
Right. Right. I have to pay her for those. She's only 10 years old.
Oh, of course, but hey, what is it? I think it's 1,200 for 12,000 for a kid on your write off.
Exactly. Yeah, my accountant told me no, but okay. Well, I heard it. You could write off 6,000 per child, but she told me you can't. So I just give her $5 for each video. I'm a big spender, you guys. Don't tell her what minimum wage is. Okay? We're all in trouble.
We'll see if we can remove this from the video so there's no proof.
Oh yeah, there was another one I did, and I stole this from a Tom Ferry event. I had her go putting signs in the lawn. I had her helping stuff envelopes, and I filmed this all, and I said something like, you could even get a tax write-off for this, and then I said, I'm taking her to Starbucks and I'll get to write off that too, or something like fun like that. So yeah,
Nice.
I've done really a few with Hayden. My older daughter won't do them, but Hayden will do them with me. It's great.
I think it's great. I think those are the ones that are going to really it's going to be embedded. It's going to be in their brain, and that's going to be a hard one for them to get out because it was just like, okay,
a lot of people say they love the videos of her in it. So you're right. I'm going to upload those. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, people love the kids.
So go on to Darcy's Facebook page if you aren't already, and check out her videos.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Is everyone good to do a video? Is anyone not good for it?
Just